Imagine biting into a moist, fruity cake, bursting with natural sweetness and packed with health benefits. Today, you will learn how to make a gluten-free fruit cake, a delicious treat that's friendly to your waistline and your taste buds. This recipe is a game changer, especially for those with gluten intolerance or anyone aiming for a healthier lifestyle. It's about savoring a delightful dessert without compromising your health. So, are you ready to whip up this healthy and delicious treat? Let's dive into the recipe. To make this mouth-watering gluten-free fruit cake, gather the following ingredients. First, you'll need 2 cups of gluten-free self-raising flour. If you don't have this on hand, you can use a combination of gluten-free all-purpose flour and baking powder. Next, get 1 cup of unsalted butter. For a dairy-free alternative, coconut oil works wonderfully. You also need 1 cup of brown sugar. Coconut sugar is a great substitute for those looking for a lower glycemic index. Don't forget the stars of our cake, the fruits. You'll need 1 cup each of dried figs, sultanas, and currants. If you're not a fan of these, feel free to use your favorite dried fruits. Lastly, grab 4 large free-range eggs. If you're vegan, flax eggs are your best bet. And of course, we can't forget the spices. A teaspoon each of ground cinnamon and nutmeg for that festive touch. With all these ingredients ready, you're set to start baking. With all the ingredients in place, it's time to prepare the batter for our gluten-free fruit cake. Diving right in, the first step to creating our scrumptious batter involves the dry ingredients. We'll need a large bowl to combine our gluten-free flour, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Stir these elements together until they're evenly mixed. Remember, consistency is key here. Next, we enter the realm of the eggs, a crucial component for our batter. Crack open the eggs into a separate bowl. Using an electric mixer or a whisk, beat them until they're light and frothy. This process is essential as it introduces air into the eggs, giving our cake that delightful light texture. Now it's time to bring together these separate parts. Gradually add the beaten eggs into the bowl of dry ingredients, stirring continuously. The aim here is to combine them into a smooth, lump-free batter. Patience is the secret ingredient in this step. Rushing might lead to a lumpy batter, and we certainly don't want that. At this point, our batter should be smooth and velvety, an inviting canvas for the fruits. But before we introduce them, let's give our batter a quick taste. If it's not sweet enough, feel free to add a bit of honey or maple syrup. Remember, it's all about balancing the flavors to your liking. Now that the batter is ready, it's time to add in the star of the show, the fruits. The batter is smooth, the fruits are in, and it's time to bake this delicious treat. So let's dive into the process of bringing our gluten-free fruit cake to life. First off, we need to preheat our oven. This step is crucial as it ensures that the cake starts baking as soon as it hits the heat, giving us a perfectly fluffy and moist texture. Set your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. While our oven is preheating, let's prepare our cake pan. Greasing and flouring the pan is essential to ensure that our cake doesn't stick. You can use a bit of butter or oil for greasing and a dusting of gluten-free flour to coat it. Now it's time to pour our perfectly mixed batter into the pan. Be gentle and spread it evenly, ensuring that the fruits are well distributed. Once our oven is preheated, carefully place the pan in the center of the oven. The baking time is crucial here. We want our cake to be baked perfectly, not undercooked or burnt. Bake it for about 50 to 60 minutes. Keep an eye on it, but remember, no peeking too often. The oven's heat needs to stay consistent. After the baking time, do the toothpick test. If it comes out clean, your cake is done. And voila, your gluten-free fruit cake is ready. Let it cool, slice it up, and enjoy. So, there you have it, a delicious gluten-free fruit cake that's easy to make and a joy to eat. We've walked through the steps together, gathering our simple, wholesome ingredients, mixing up our batter, and baking to golden perfection. This recipe proves that gluten-free doesn't mean flavor-free. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This fruitcake is bursting with natural sweetness and a rich, satisfying texture. Enjoy this delicious fruitcake And don't forget to share this recipe with your health-conscious friends. Happy baking!